West Nile TV. Miyuder Ingomwa.
Friday edition, and of course, interestingly, I want to say most welcome for the whistle time on West Nile TV. My name is Owen, but of course, big games that came through. You did see the northern region, of course, playing with the Uganda Cranes, and of course, a Uganda Cup. A Uganda Premier League will be coming right today on CAD. As Toro United takes on Busoga United. That's another big game that will be coming up right there. But of course, a couple of games will also be resuming for the weekend, and we shall be having a little of the discussions on some of the weekend games. What about Newcastle United in there, trying to find out that they need Unai Emery to take charge of the team of Newcastle United. Let's have that, but we'll be coming up right here, and you can do only one thing, go to that is your YouTube channel, then of course put your comment or drop your comment on that is the comment box. You will always be right there with me. I'm not alone. I have Oscar the Brazilian in with me right here. Oscar, most welcome and good afternoon.
Well, thank you so much. It's so disturbing that after getting all that money, Newcastle United still thinks of ordinary coaches to me. Coaches that don't so much command respect. I feel so disturbed.
Okay, a very big one. But of course, let's start with Onduparaka Football Club. Right now, as I talk, Onduparaka Football Club have got in intense training. Remember, clubs have gone in for a break, but of course, this break has helped teams to, of course, make sure that they identify. Now, as I talk, Onduparaka Football Club is under intense training in Kampala. Of course, the head coach, George Lutalo, is back with the team, and he had a nice performance probably against Vipers, though they lost, if it was not because of that free kick in there, but they lost the game by 1-0. Now, George Lutalo takes charge of Onduparaka Football Club. Maybe could we see now Onduparaka improve, because we did see their first game where very many expected maybe the team could have faced a lot of challenges in that game, but of course he tried his level best and things worked out for him.
Well, I really love to see George Lutalo returns to the touchline, and probably what difference can he get back into the team if we try to compare with what Dudu Bosco has actually been, the input he has been putting. I think it's not so bad for Bosco. A win against Bright Stars, and I think 2 draws, because there was a draw against Bull, a draw against Roa Hill, a draw, and then a loss to Vipers, which is not so bad. But I feel that really I needed to see him come back. There's a way a head coach can come and bring something in a game. He was coaching the Christian Cranes. Yeah. So that is ladies football, and now the men's football. I really want to see him get something that can, so that I can maybe try to have an idea. Who is this coach? Besides getting his name, getting his profile, on paper it can be written very well and looks so appetizing. But I would love to see him on the touchline. I would love to watch his trainings, to assess his drills. What type of drills is he giving? Are the drills sufficient for the players? How is it bettering players in one way or the other? I would love to see him come up with an identical style of play that we can identify him with. Whether they're still going to stick with the 4-3-3, or he's going to come with something different that can accommodate and utilize the players that he has available. In my assessment, I have realized that the 4-3-3 is not sufficient for Onduparaka. They don't have the type of players they can boast of a 4-3-3. There should be another identical type of play that they would come up with, that I feel that could be the best for them. What would happen if they play with 2 strikers, or maybe possibly they go with a 4-4-1-1, or perhaps they go to a 4-2-3-1. Would be a little easier to understand for the players. And again, in terms of the quality of the players they have, I would think even some people would go for a back 3, but it's not easy for players to understand functioning as playing as a wing back and it's too technical that needed a lot of time for it to be experimented. But all in all, I think they should go with what works for the players, what can accommodate the players that they have, because literally I don't see 4-3-3 working. So I am happy he has come back. So what can he add into the team is what we're waiting to see.
It's a very big one. Of course, Nduparaka getting onto the drills are still going on in Kampala, and they will be coming back to see that they make all moves possible right there. But of course, yesterday also you did say Arua Hill Sports Club unveiled their new kit, the kit for the home and away. That will be taking note on the 2021-2022 season. That's another interesting old notification I can give you right there. But let's turn the focus away from there and get to Paida Black Angels, who are in the regional league. They have been in the Premier League and the big league, but of course this time around they are relegated, and they are looking forward to see that they get reorganized. They have a game with the Arua Hill Sports Club, and could we see this as a restructuring moment for them, because third is when the game of regional leagues will be kicking off, 3rd December.
Well, we have talked a lot about Paida Black Angels, and
but they still have things to talk about.
they still have a lot that they have not even come close to starting to implement some of the things. I am quite sure that they watch these shows every day. But I feel disturbed if at this point in time they're still looking for, I think the whole essence is to look for finances. They want to try and look for some money that can help them now that the league might start on the 3rd of December. They're looking for ways of how they can be giving some small allowances for players, how they can actually be getting some transportation, how they can get the best out maybe out of, they can do some gate collections. But all the same, I think it comes to organizational abilities. All this while, what have they been doing? What strategy? Because they have actually had, from last season, they knew that they were relegated. I thought now from this season, they should have developed a strategy. We are in the regional league. How do we get some? Because you don't need a lot of money. They almost, I think, got released almost, I think, 90% of most of the players that were there last season. I don't think 90% of them actually remained. We are going to be watching the same type of players who played in the Opimo Cup. Majority of them, the likes of Jonathan, the likes of Deco, the likes of Jonathan, that Congolese player, the likes of, there's that player that they call Messi, the other left-footed player. We are going to be seeing more of the same. But honestly speaking, I think it's not a good way to come into the start of the season and literally your account balance is reading 0. I feel that the packaging, Paida Black Angels as a product, it should be the most selling now, in West, amongst all the teams right now. If you took away Arua Hill, if you took away Nduparaka, which other team can easily attract a sponsor? I think it is Paida. But I keep wondering that ever since this club has just been there for long, since 1979, we never even had a sponsor. I thought we have several bus companies, we have several transportation companies that are even within Arua, within Paida. Why can't they even first of all start by striking a deal? That deal could even just be, it may not be directly benefiting them in terms of money, but again, for transport. Let's say all those bus companies, if they approach one, that is going to be our partner, and that partner is the one that's going to be in charge of their transportation. So each day you have a match coming, you're not going to scratch your heads. You know that transport is already catered for, and you send the deal long term, the whole season, because you know the benefits that are involved. For you, you may not get the money directly, but again, you know that the transport has already been catered for. The other side, they will know, because now we are number one, we are they are going to be benefiting, because fans already know that if we are to travel, it has to be by this bus. That's number one strategy. Number two, there are a lot of resourceful people whom this club actually have. This club Paida. The MP, the current MP now for Okoro. Those are some of the resourceful people they could use. The people who already have been in business and they have money. He already has influence, and that influence he could actually mobilize other businessmen, and then they have a package. I mean, the business community can't fail to support a club like Paida. It's just a matter of me. I attribute it to leadership. I attribute it to lack of vision. I attribute it to lack of strategy. These are the things that Paida can sit on a round table. Whom you appoint to be in which position matters. You're not just going to fill a vacant position. But you're supposed to be strategic.
But of course, maybe this will be the time to take over from there. Do we see maybe this is the reason why, if you look at Paida Black Angels recently, they thought of selling the club? Could that be one of the reasons why maybe someone has failed to go because knows, how am I going to start? Am I going to start from zero? Because Paida itself, the banks or the accounts were indicating red.
Now, if you're going to sell a club, what I know is you may maybe sell the shares. You know, one thing that has worked to the disadvantage of anybody who would think of trying to get money to inject into Paida has been that mindset that it is a community club. But as a community, how much are they contributing? There's a lot at stake if you are to run a club. You're not just going to say, this is our club, this is our club. First of all, are you registered? The first thing Paida Black Angels will start doing, organize the funds and start the process of registering funds. So that by then you'll get to know. Those who are saying, our club, who are you? Do you hold a card? And by the virtue of you becoming a registered fund or you're paying membership, does not give you absolute right to think that you can even make decisions in the club. You are, as a fund, yes, you are an important stakeholder. You help in the development of this club. But there are some people in the management structure that are charged with the responsibility of managing the club, including even managing the funds. So one, they don't even know how many funds they have. Very many people go to watch the games, but literally they are not. How attached are they to Paida? By me putting on that jersey of Paida does not make me a fan, does not qualify me to be a fan. I have to be registered in the first place, and being registered, which means I'm either paying a registration fee or a membership fee, can be for the whole year. You can start with a few. If you can get, like, let's say you want to have a target of registering 2,000 funds, and each fund is going to pay maybe, I've seen Villa and KCC, they pay 50. Let's say you're going to collect 30,000. For you to be our fund, a registered one, a recognized fund, you have to pay this amount of money. So it's there now. That's number one way of raising revenue. Now, if 2,000 people, at least everyone is paying 30,000. Now you go to those whom you are targeting, even to be in the board, those MPs, those like the former Prime Minister, those people. You can charge them and say, okay, now for you people, you maybe membership, you can give us 200. If you can also get 10 of them, then amongst those are the people you're going to appoint in the board. Now, who is your chairperson? The chairman counts a lot. In some organized places, the chairperson directly is in charge of all the activities of the club. But you have to appoint a technical person in the shape of the CEO. Then the CEO is in charge of every administrative bit, the recruitment of technical staff, recruitment of players. I mean, all these people in charge will be under the CEO. But it starts with how many of your funds are there and how many are you going to attract. Now, those strategies will be under the PRO. Does the PRO even have time? That's the truth. You ask yourself. What I know is Sam is a very busy person. Sam is having his full-time job somewhere. The PRO or being a PRO of Paida Black Angels is just something he wants to take as he wants to give a helping hand. And that position is supposed to be a full-time. There's a lot for somebody to do in that position. So I think that even the appointments that Paida is doing, it doesn't reflect on how organized or the path the club.
Maybe because it's the budget is not there, the money is not there. So someone comes in and feels, let me volunteer and see how things go on.
But Owen, for how long do you want to run a club and saying we are struggling, we don't have money? You need to get the people with the right brain to take you there. With people with the right vision to take you there. You're not going to be saying this every day.
All right, that's by the Black Angels for you. And of course, they will be having a game on Saturday. That game will be at Barrow Koro Stadium with Arua Hill Sports Club, who are, of course, also off. That is the break. And I'm yet to know that they will be having their trainings today. And of course, they were supposed to resume trainings on Monday, but now they will be doing some live trainings today to make sure that they play that game tomorrow, and it's going to be at Barrow Koro Stadium. Maybe, possibly, we may be there to watch this game and see how these games go on. Maybe, Oscar, that would be another interesting moment for us right there. But let's see how we shall be making it there.
I think I have to be there. I just feel I need to be there.
All right, we'll be taking a break. And then after the break, we come back and discuss a little bit of the Ghana Premier League and, of course, the game that was played yesterday. That is the regional tour for the Uganda Cranes right there. A game that ended 3-1 in favor of Uganda Cranes right away. But let's take a break. We'll be right back.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome back from that break, and I want to say it's still West Nile TV. The Whistle Time continues still right there, but of course, interestingly, off camera, a lot of things always come through, and people think, what exactly would that be? But of course, a lot is there now. Let's talk about the game. Busoga United is playing today against Toro United. These two sides have got their ways of playing. Of course, you've looked at Toro United, you've looked at Busoga United, probably a team that the two had some time back issues because of their own of course, arrangement in the club. But this time around, their game was pushed today. Now, Friday, today is when these two teams are playing, and this game will be at exactly 3. And out of all what has happened, you will see that Toro United, on their standings, they have not been that team that someone will be saying because they lie 11th and they are playing Busoga United that lies 13th. In their 3 games, all of them have played and won once. That means they have drawn twice. Lost twice. Busoga has lost twice, and then Toro has lost once and drawn once. That's how the team is, and they have the 4-3. Toro and Busoga respectively. That's the points they're having. Now they will be meeting today. What exactly do you expect from this game?
Well, these are two struggling teams, and of course, unfortunately, also you find URA somewhere there. But I know URA has 3 games at hand.
Yeah,
that means they might actually find themselves getting even better and better because they have all 3 points. If they can win the other 3, that means they'll be around 12 points, even ahead of the teams like Vipers and other things. But URA still has
even cases here.
Yes, they still have games to play. But these two teams are struggling. I get to wonder, Toro, then even the other side, Police. I know their next game is going to be against Mukurakat. How do you lose 5 games? And I'm still surprised. I would be so much happy this time around. I think we're in contact. When Abdallah Mubiru comes, I need to find out from him what exactly is happening. But I was sticking to this game. I feel these are two teams that are desperate to actually get the point, and it's going to be a very, very difficult encounter. But I expect Busoga to get something in this game.
Busoga is the team that has lost twice in their games, and that will be the team that will be also away. So can they get it against Toru United? That's where everybody will be wanting to watch, and a very, very big game to see for the two sides in there to survive that low level. Of course, being low on the log right there. Now let's move on from there. Yesterday, Uganda Cranes had a tour or a trip to Kitgum in the northern region. Of course, they had a very big one. Couple of names I did see who traveled. Of course, also the ones from my boys from Calgary. 5 of them were called, and they were in the team. Now, looking at how this team went in there, 3-1 is what the Uganda Cranes team had to put past the northern region. Probably maybe now it has reached northern. We're expecting Western Nile also so soon to come in there. And who are some of those players who will be coming, who are going to be the head coaches? Are we seeing Dudu again coming in for the northern region? Those are some, I mean, for the Western region. But let's talk with the northern region that happened yesterday. It was one of the big games that you could be talking. Kitgum was full to its capacity, and Uganda.
As if there's no COVID.
Exactly. Names like Ibrahim Oriet, the likes of the KCC forward, I'm talking about Rogers Mato, then Shafiq Kochi Kajimo, the captain of URA, also all got into the score sheet for Uganda Cranes. Different names you've seen there. The Zomo Koalas are still into the team, but of course, very many of the young boys are trying to prove to Mitchell that they can perform.
It's the Namutima is the regional tour is a good initiative. Possibly it's the only opportunity that the head coach of Uganda Cranes has to move around to at least spot some talents. But again, I keep wondering, how do you absorb those talents? And maybe it's just for you identify them and you leave them there. Because I have not seen in any one way or the other that some of those players spotted. They only talk about them, that these players are talented, these players are APC. They still remain there. They still remain the same. Except when Laszlo Saba, I think, came this side way back when he spotted the likes of Samson Sisa Okuti, way back. And I think from there, they sold the idea to Bonamwaya by then. And then that's when Samson Sisa Okuti had to make that switch from Ediofe Hills to Bonamwaya, Lewin from Ediofe Hills to KCCA. But ever since then, no. He was supposed to actually go to URA. Caesar was supposed to go to URA. But I remember he was summoned for a Sekafa game. And then Morigo had to ask him to remain behind. So they traveled together. So it was not by mistake that he joined Bonamwaya instead of URA. So all in all, I think this Namutima thing is a good thing, but again, how do you absorb those projects into a bigger team? The national team coach doesn't move anywhere to even watch. Maybe Undo Baraka is playing here with the Royal Hill, expected me to be in the stands. What? These some people from FUFA to be in the stands. A player scores a brace in a game, the player is being summoned. I mean, from where? I think there should be a way. I love what Hansi Flick is doing now. A big game between maybe Manchester City or Manchester United or Manchester City, Chelsea, you find him in the stands. He's watching the game. He wants to see how his players are performing in a big game, in a big platform. That's how it's really supposed to be. That is Southgate. A game is happening between Manchester City, maybe Liverpool, where he will always be in the stands watching. So that's how I would love to be. I would love to see the head coach of the Uganda Cranes assessing his own players, because as a coach, you know what you want. You are the one who can assess. Is this coach giving the best to this player? What can actually be improved? I remember those days of in the early 90s, before actually Italy went to the World Cup final of 1994. There used to be a head coach called Arrigo Sacchi, and his assistant was Carlo Ancelotti. They used to take the national team like a football club. At least twice a week, they will ask the teams within the Italian Serie A to release some players to go and attend trainings. And in that, there's a type of philosophy he wanted to instill in the players, how the players are actually supposed to play. The likes of Roberto Baggio, who really benefited a lot from that. No wonder he was one of the greatest Italian to have actually played. So to me, I feel there's a lot yet lacking. His approach there is something that all the coaches could actually pick, of national teams could actually pick. Even basically, I would think starting with the junior team, you could pick that. Logistical challenges are always there, but at least you have to make an attempt. So I really feel that maybe these Damo teamers would help a lot only to benefit Mitchell, because I know Mitchell is a scout. He's a scout. It could probably help him to try and see how he can link up maybe players like Shaban. Remember, Shaban was supposed to. There was an approach from a team from Europe to get Shaban, and Onduparaka refused. So, personally, I think maybe it will help him as Mitchell to scout players, and that's one of the things that makes me to want to come into coaching, because I can become an agent as well, so that I can also benefit in one way or the other. Small. I also keep growing.
Look at the team that I always, when it comes to the region, the level is from big league and down. The other teams in there that will always feature in for the national, for the region. And did you buy that idea? Why not the teams in Uganda Premier League? Because most of them are normally not selecting.
No, I think I love that idea of big league and below. Even I think with the time, they should actually make it regional league. In my opinion, they should make it regional league. Big league players already have a platform to express themselves, a platform to play well and be summoned. They already have a platform. They even have a platform of playing in the Uganda Cup. Though regional league clubs also have, but theirs it's not definite. But I think it should be with the time zero down to regional league. That's where they will benefit from. I will still say this again, that when it was just given to the region, what I saw twice was Onduparaka versus Uganda Cranes. That's all I saw. Because when you look at from the goalkeeper to the striker, it's Onduparaka team. So there, how do you call it a region? It was not. It did not symbolize the region for me. It was symbolizing that maybe we as a region believe that there are only players, the only crop of players who can represent the region only lies within Onduparaka, which was a lie. Okay. I didn't buy that idea, but I am happy that it has been zeroed down from big league to regional league. But I would even feel it should be now from regional league to 4th division or even to 5th. I would think that one would work it better.
Of course, the goal for that is the region of Northern Region. Of course, Northern Region's goal came in from the Calvary Football Club player. I'm talking about Obed Brand, who got that goal for the team in a penalty and converted the back of the net. That was the game that went through right there. Now, we're taking a break. As we come back for the international stories, as a couple of stories internationally will be scrolling your screen right here. Stay hooked and don't move away from the TV.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome back from that break, and I want to say it's still West Nile TV, and you are watching, of course, the Whistle Time right here with the Whistle Timers. Of course, Oscar still with me, and my name is Owen right there now. Newcastle United are willingly to pay 47 million for Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and they want him into their team. Who is the person recruiting? And yet they're saying they want coaches. to come in there. And one of the biggest is Unai Emery. The what big name players, they have the money.
That's why I started questioning. The money came. I want to relate it to in the around 2008, 2009, I think 7, 8, when Thaksin Shinawatra actually took over Manchester City. You will not imagine that before that Manchester City was being led by Stuart Pearce. Stuart Pearce was the head coach of Manchester City and also the head coach of the under-21 of the English national team. Honestly, I did see the best of Manchester City under coaches like Stuart Pearce. Then when Thaksin Shinawatra took over, he got, I don't know, somebody deceived him that Sven-Göran Eriksson would have been the best person, the best coach to actually start a project at Manchester City. The money was there, but I didn't see that coming. Not until when the Sheikh Mansour actually took over. And now this person we're talking about who has taken over Manchester City is more than like 10 times richer than Sheikh Mansour. There's a lot of money. And Newcastle United, I think, from nowhere is now the richest club in the world. But it beats my understanding now if you're going for goalkeepers like Marc-Andre ter Stegen at 47 million. That's too much money. That is too much money. And
the money is there.
The money is there, but I cannot spend that amount of money on ter Stegen. A lot of money for what? I mean, they're even better. I don't believe in goalkeepers. First of all, is ter Stegen. First of all, plays second fiddle to Manuel Neuer. At Barcelona, yes, but just look at the Barcelona now. At the end of the day, the coach you're going to bring would also determine whether you need his style of play, whether it will require a ball-playing goalkeeper or just a short stopper. So all that you have to bring that into context. But to me, yes, I know that there has been that conversation, that business talk with Unai Emery, but he has turned them down. Now, you will not believe that this is a Newcastle United that wants to bring Eddie Howe. I mean, of all coaches you have, you're thinking of Eddie Howe. You have the money. You would actually tell me we are tempting Arsene Wenger to come. That would sound something to my ears. We are tempting maybe Jurgen Klinsmann to come and start this project. We are maybe tempting Mauricio Pochettino to leave PSG to come and start this project. Maybe even before Antonio Conte was just free, you could have. Those are the names you could be talking about. Or maybe you say we want to now tempt Pep Guardiola to leave Manchester City to come. Those are the names I want to hear to start a project, because I know you give them the time, the process. You even give them the money. They will know on which players to actually spend. So honestly, I feel a coach like let's say for instance Unai Emery has not had a good experience while at Arsenal, so I don't think he will be tempted to come soon. He just won the Europa with Villarreal, and that means he still has something to deliver. And this time we'll be playing in the UEFA Champions League. You can't come to Newcastle United that is second from bottom. You need to start from zero. If you look at some of the players, you even feel there has to be a complete overhaul. And for any coach who is coming, it is very, very difficult to start from where Newcastle is to bring them up. I would feel that right now what Newcastle need, they just need a coach that can bring them out of that position, at least to make the team survive or maybe finish in the top half. And then from there, you think of bringing somebody better at the end of the season. But now when you look at Eddie Howe, honestly, Eddie Howe was a coach at Bournemouth. Before Bournemouth was relegated, he was relegated together. And since then he has been out of coaching.
Active coaching.
Now, if you're telling me you're going to be bringing Eddie Howe, I mean, what is Eddie Howe literally plays? He literally plays a 4-4-1-1. That modernized version of a 4-4-2. Now, what are you going to? I mean, the 4-4-2. Most of the coaches who play that I'm just literally thinking they're outdated. Look at Sean Dyche at Burnley. How much is he achieving with this traditional? It's still a traditional kind of formation. You just need basic players, hardworking players. And now with all that money, are you going to be only looking at basic play? There's a bit of entertaining, but again, the results, because that's a very big investment. I just try to take a look at his moment at Bournemouth. He used to have there was Asmir Bekovic for him, I remember. Then he would play in a 4-4-1-1. The players like Stanislas, players like Josh King, but he would have Smith at the left back Daniels, Hook and Nathan Ake, who is now at Manchester City. That's how he used to play them. He got Nathan Ake from Chelsea because Nathan Ake didn't have playing time. Yeah. Then Stanislas, he brought Stanislas. Then there was Fraser. Fraser right now is at Newcastle United. Then in the midfield there was Atta, and then of course there was Sleiman. Josh Kim he bought from Liverpool. Then up front there was Benik Afobe. Basically the team was just a basic team. No wonder they were relegated. Now you want to bring such a manager. He has also been out of active management. Now papers are writing that he might actually be in the stands tomorrow when Newcastle United will be playing against Graham Potter's Brighton and Hove. Now, isn't that going to be too soon for him? And now when you look at the crop of players at Newcastle United now, maybe for now there's something he can get. There could be something maybe he can get, because when you look at the players, you have the players like Manquillo and the acting coach now Jones. He has also switched to the same type of philosophy that this Steve Bruce was actually using, the back five, which is one of the most. I mean, I don't fancy coaches who go with 5 players at the back. What are you doing at the back? And you're still losing games. Defending what?
Goals.
Now you only think of defending. I thought a good coach thinks of both defending and scoring. Now when you look at that, yes, they have players like you have Dallo. Yes, they will use him in Manquillo, but honestly, it doesn't make any sense for me to play Matt Ritchie. Then the midfield, the centre backs, use 3 centre backs. Why don't you just use the back 3? Because you have Jamal Lascelles, who is the captain. You have you have Clark, you have Kraft, and you're using 5, and then 2 as wingers, as fullbacks, then the other 3 as centre backs. It's a complete waste of time. Usually they use a 4-3-5-2 or a 3-4-3. Now in the midfield, yes, they have a couple of good players. They have the likes of Hayden. Hayden has been quite performing. Fraser, who will be familiar to Eddie Howe, because he actually played under Eddie Howe before. Then Sean Longstaff is just there, but don't forget that there's Matthew Longstaff also who is still there. Then up front they have the likes of Callum Wilson and Stan Maximan. I would feel maybe they could bring him as tentative, just to make Newcastle United survive the league, and then from there they try to get somebody better with all that money, just like you've been saying.
Now, of course, that's now in the coaching moment. But of course, looking at the team of Tottenham Hotspurs, report just reaching my desk indicate that Antonio Conte has his visa being approved, and he will be in charge of the game today, and that's one of the big games that of course will be coming up right there. And then of course look at that, the game is tomorrow, and then you have the game also looking at the national team of England. This time Jude Bellingham gets on note, and the man by the names of Jadon Sancho misses out. We will be talking about that, but of course Ryan Mason has been given the first team coach at Tottenham Hotspur. Let's look at Jadon Sancho not being in the England team this time round, on merit or on dismerit.
Let me first start with Tottenham Hotspur. Ryan Mason is first team coach for what?
For maybe his loyalty in the team. He was sometime back.
Is it not the same Ryan Mason who Daniel Levy trusted, went to the final with Pep Guardiola and was beaten?
Exactly.
He completely ran out of ideas, even didn't know what to do. By the way, if they had left Jose Mourinho at least to play the final, he would have won the final against Manchester City. They were not very good on the night. But Ryan Mason was completely awful in terms of his tactics, the game approach, the substitutions he's making. He went with the mind of just defending. You just go into a game, you know that Manchester City is big, I'm going to defend. That is no. Okay, maybe it's too early. Let's wait and see what.
They'll be dealing with this compared, of course.
Because now Conte yesterday played a 3-4-3. He started with look at the back three had Davies, also had Romero was in the back three. Of course, Dyer was there, and then there was Emerson Royal was drafted. Sergio Rallion. There was Højbjerg and Skip in the midfield, and then there was Son Heung-min who got also in the score sheet. Lucas Moura also got on the score sheet, and then also Harry Kane got on the score sheet, which was a plus. The game ended 3-2. I thought that's the style of something new that is bringing, and it's something I expected Nuno Espirito Santos to have done. It still works, whether a 3-4-3 or a 3-5, it still works. So it was a plus for me yesterday. But still coming to Jadon Sancho. There is no way I would feel. There is no way even I would think that Jadon Sancho should be signed to the English national team. He has not performed. He has not performed at all. And that's one of the things that I think was going to cost Ole's job, because you can't buy a player who is ineffective. The style of play at Manchester United that doesn't suit him at all. I've always been saying this: the best player United could have spent that money on was Son Heung-min from Tottenham Hotspur. Man United would have been very far with Son, because Son can also, if Ronaldo is not there, you're only going to be thinking of Cavani, and there is not any other immediate person to play a number 9. And for him, he can play either on the flanks, or he can even play behind the main strike, or he can even play as a centre forward. That, to me, money wasted. Him not being someone is a plus. I completely agree.
Of course, yesterday Son Heung-min was the star player in that team, and then of course 2 red cards being shown to the two either sides. Romero for Tottenham Hotspur, and the goalkeeper, of course, Shalbat also got that for the team. India Tottenham won the game 3-2. Harry Kane's goal was an assist. Of course, the man by the names of Rasmussen got that own goal for that is the team India. But of course, Leicester was also humbled to a 1-1 draw right there in this very, very tight game. And now a couple of games, you did see Lyon beating Spartak Braha, and Monaco also with the PSV Eindhoven played goalless, and Napoli also had a very good run 4-1 against that is Legia, and West Ham did play 2-2 with Genk, and that's one of the big games that comes in there now. First couple of games we shall be discussing for tomorrow, but
West Ham have already qualified, by the way, to the group stages.
And today you will be seeing a game as of course Southampton takes on Aston Villa, and that will be in the English.
You start from today.
Today, Southampton will be having a game against Aston Villa. That's one of the big games that will be coming in England. The English FA Cup has also Sudbury against, of course, Chelsea. That will be another big one. Now, tomorrow, a couple of games. Early kickoff will be Manchester United against Man City, 3:30. And remember, tomorrow, before we get for that, we'll be having Joe Gaddafi. Probably we'll discuss about this game right here, because he is one of the greatest fans of Manchester City, Pep Guardiola. Yeah, he loves Pep Guardiola with his philosophy. So we'll be getting him right here. But also, let's wrap this up and of course say maybe a very good game. That is the people who are going for prayers.
I really can't wait to sit here again and analyze that game tomorrow. I really can't wait. It's going to be a very interesting. I think just like I enjoyed the Liverpool Manchester City game, my expectation is that I still enjoy it the same way, because one coach knows it, the other one is yet to prove to us So you will have to see. And for team Paida Black Angels, they really need to up their game. A big brand is the only unfortunate bit is that they have not realized how big Paida is. They have not realized how big they are. All the other teams, you can reach out to us if you want a bit of how you can organize with the structures. We are going to be anytime soon starting to reach out to the people, and that will be part of our contribution.
All right, I just want to say, of course, this is what we would love to stop for now, but of course, a lot more programs still coming, and just keep right to your TV as more are coming right here. Stay tuned, and we want to say we are lighting up the region. This is West Nile TV, and of course, the mighty TV in West Nile region, and you get at large. Don't touch your dial.